Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. And tonight's Smackdown was the season premiere. It's been a year since Smackdown has been on Fox. And Smackdown tonight, in my opinion, was a decent show. Wasn't terrible, wasn't bad. It was actually a decent show. I really enjoyed Smackdown tonight. Wasn't bored by it. But before I get into the review, I just want to thank you guys who watched my live, birthday stream yesterday. It was fun interacting with you guys in the chat, showing you guys, the figures that I got, the DVD, Blu-ray, 4K update, and answering you guys' questions in the Q&A. So it was fun, hanging out with you guys for like 2 hours and 37 minutes, which that's how long the video was. So it was a good, over, 2 hours that I got to do the stream and interact with you guys. Had a lot of fun doing it, and appreciate the birthday comments yesterday, and I hope you all enjoyed the hangout that we did on my birthday stream. But thank you guys for for watching the stream yesterday and interacting. But anyways, let's get on with the Smackdown review. So, Smackdown opened up tonight. The season premiere of Smackdown opened up with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. They were in the ring. We had the roster on the stage. And Stephanie ended up welcoming us to Smackdown. And they go on, her and Triple H. They were hyping up the main event, which was Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, and the Universal Championship was on the line. And then Triple H went on, and he was saying, how this is the season premiere, and everything is going to be new and fresh. And I'm like, new and fresh? Are they serious? New and fresh, it's the same stuff that we've been seeing for months. Oh, yeah, something new and fresh. Oh, we're going to see Seth Rollins and the Mysterios go at it. Oh, yeah, like that's new and fresh. It's the same shit. The only two people that find everything to be new and fresh is Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. Those are the only two who find everything new and fresh. But what the fans see is the same shit we've been given month after month after month after month. Like, how many times Seth Rollins and the Mysterios went at it? It's not new and fresh. So then Stephanie ended up hyping up the New Day's farewell match, because Kofi and Xavier are now part of Monday Night Raw. Big E is going to be staying on SmackDown. And then Triple H ended up plugging Jeff Hardy versus Lars Sullivan, or he was going, the Super Freak. And I'm like, oh God, Triple H is just going, Super Freak. Was that really necessary? It was cringe. But we had Stephanie then end up hyping up Daniel Bryan's return, making his first appearance in the WWE Thunderdome. So Daniel Bryan was shown. He was on the stage along with the roster. Triple H ended up saying that there are a lot of new faces, which he ended up mentioning Kevin Owens. Stephanie then ended up shouting out Aleister Black, which Aleister Black ended up staring Kevin Owens down. Oh yeah, that's another one. How is Kevin Owens and Aleister Black new and fresh when they've been going at it? So, that's not new and fresh. Well, according to either Vince McMahon or Bruce Pritchard, yeah, that's new and fresh. So Triple H then ended up introducing Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ended up getting booed by those fake crowd chants that they put in. And Stephanie ended up pointing to Otis and the Money in the Bank briefcase. So Triple H ended up hyping up the Street Profits, which the Street Profits will be defending the titles against, of course, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. So then Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler end up attacking the Street Profits. They were beating them down. They went into the ring. The rest of the roster got into the ring and brawled. Looked like we were having a battle royal. So Owens ended up leaping out and took a bunch of the guys down. Montez Ford ended up nailing a dive on top of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And then out came Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan came to the ring, ended up being down on the Profits. Kalisto ended up leaping out of the ring, but Lars Sullivan ended up catching Kalisto, and he rammed Kalisto into the barricade. Sami Zayn ended up retreating out of the ring because Lars Sullivan came in. And then Chad Gable and Apollo Crews ended up attacking Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan ended up taking the both of them out. Lars Sullivan delivered the freak accident to Chad Gable. Jeff Hardy then ended up coming from behind, and he ended up attacking Lars Sullivan. Jeff Hardy was going to deliver the twist of fate to Lars Sullivan, but ended up blocking it. Jeff Hardy ended up sending Lars Sullivan out to the floor, and Jeff Hardy ended up celebrating. Lars ended up staring him down at ringside, and that was that. So, but very cringe with the Triple H, going, oh, the super freak Lars Sullivan, Lars Sullivan. But it's the same brawl. It's brawls, same shit. Now we had Lars Sullivan versus Jeff Hardy, which was okay. We had Jeff Jarrett watching in the Thunderdome crowd. Jeff Jarrett was shown, and there was a lot of stars that were in the Thunderdome crowd, and the only reason why they did that was possibly to get the ratings up. So, but the match started. Jeff Hardy went to attack Lars Sullivan, but Lars Sullivan ended up taking down Jeff Hardy, and Lars ended up mounting Jeff Hardy from behind, delivered a crossface, and Lars Sullivan ended up taking out Jeff Hardy again, ended up stalking Jeff Hardy into the corner. Lars then unloaded on Jeff Hardy in the corner. Lars Sullivan then picked Jeff Hardy up, launched him across the ring, and he then delivered a clothesline to Jeff Hardy, went for the cover. Hardy ended up kicking out at 2. There was a point where Jeff Hardy was going for the twist of fate, but it got blocked by Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan ended up sending Jeff Hardy out to the floor, and Jeff Hardy then ended up leaping off of the ring steps. Lars Sullivan ended up catching Jeff Hardy in midair. He then slammed Jeff Hardy onto the edge of the ring apron. Lars Sullivan ended up rolling Jeff Hardy back into the ring. Jeff Hardy then nailed the twist of fate. Lars Sullivan was stunned from the twist of fate, Jeff Hardy went to the top, but Lars Sullivan ended up grabbing Jeff Hardy by the throat, and it led to Lars Sullivan delivering the freak accident to Jeff Hardy. Went for the cover. There you go. Lars Sullivan ended up winning the match. Overall, match was okay. Then you had the New Day versus Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Sheamus, 6-man tag. And we had, before the match got underway, we saw a vignette from Bianca Belair, which was pretty decent. The New Day was in the ring. They were on the mic. Big E ended up saying that after the last 6 years, your boys have finally found the one thing stronger than the power of positivity. And that was the WWE draft. And of course, this was the New Day's farewell match. And Xavier Woods ended up talking about how he and Kofi are going to Monday Night Raw, and Big E is going to be staying on SmackDown. And of course, the New Day, because of the draft, have been split up. Kofi ended up saying that they have had a week to think about his, and after going through a plethora of emotions. Kofi got a bit emotional, and he says he couldn't help but have a smile on his face. And they talk more about their time together and how they formed the group, and how they're not just friends, they're brothers. Kofi ended up saying that he loves Xavier and Big E, and Xavier Woods ended up saying, enough of that sappy stuff. They're here to get it done one last time. So Big E ended up doing his new Day Rocks chants. So we saw Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sheamus with Caleb Braxton backstage. Sheamus ended up saying that they're so grateful for the opportunity to give the New Day the send-off that they deserve. Cesaro ended up saying that they stole their titles last week, so they will take great pleasure in beating them up. So Nakamura ended up saying, this will be goodbye to the New Day forever. So then the three guys, Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sheamus, made their way out. And it was cool seeing Cesaro and Sheamus in there. It was like a reunion of the Bar, which was cool. So then the match got underway. And the match itself, it was a decent match. Although it ran for very long. It was a long match. But we had Nakamura and Xavier Woods starting off the match. Nakamura ended up taking Xavier Woods down. They ended up trading holds. Xavier Woods ended up working on Nakamura's arm. Nakamura then ended up landing a knee to Xavier Woods' gut. Nakamura then unloaded on the corner on Xavier Woods. Woods then ended up dropping Nakamura and worked on Nakamura's arm more. We had Nakamura end up countering on Xavier Woods, stomped on Xavier Woods' foot. Kofi ended up coming in, ended up taking down Nakamura with a stomp that was assisted from Xavier Woods. Kofi and Nakamura end up trading counters. And at the end of the match, we had the New Day win, where Big E and Xavier Woods end up coming in. They end up hitting the Midnight Hour on Sheamus. Big E went for the cover. There you go. The New Day end up winning the match. They end up winning, of course, their farewell match. But I knew that the New Day was going to win it. But post-match, you had the New Day huddle in the middle of the ring. Big E ended up talking about how they will forever be a part of him and that he can't thank them enough. He can't thank Xavier and Kofi enough. He goes on to say that both of them, but that both Kofi and Xavier are his brothers. So it was a very emotional moment for the New Day. But let's see what Kofi and Xavier are going to do on Monday Night Raw now. I think Big E is going to get that big push that WWE wants him to get. And I think if they book Big E really well going into November and December, I think Big E will be the standout star going into 2021, which, I hope that happens. Hopefully WWE gives Big E a big push as a singles competitor. And if they don't fuck it up, I think Big E is going to be that one guy who will be one of the more top superstars going into 2021. But that's just my opinion. So I think he will be the breakout star of 2021. So, but then we saw the New Day hug, and they were posing in the ring. They were raising the titles in the air, and that was that. But it was a decent emotional moment. Really gonna miss seeing the New Day, all three of them together. But it was their time. It was their time to split up. 6 years, with them, it was time. So then we saw Kayla Braxton. She was backstage with Otis. Kayla Braxton was asking Otis what his plans are on, what his plans on doing about The Miz suing him for the Money in the Bank briefcase. So just as Otis was going to speak, Sami Zayn ended up interrupting. Sami Zayn ended up bringing up how Otis lost Tucker because Tucker is on Monday Night Raw now. And also, Sami Zayn ended up bringing up how Otis lost Mandy Rose. Of course, Mandy Rose is on Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn ended up saying that Otis will probably lose this lawsuit to The Miz. Sami Zayn ended up saying that there are winners and losers in life. And that there are winners and there are Otis. So Otis then ended up shoving Sami to the ground. And pretty much that was basically that. So I guess we're going to be seeing Otis versus Sami Zayn next week. And then we had Daniel Bryan come out. The return of Daniel Bryan in his Thunderdome debut. So it was good to see Daniel Bryan back. He's been out, for a while. He just had another child with Brie. And Brie Bella and their daughter Birdie was shown in the Thunderdome crowd. So Daniel Bryan got on the mic. He ended up talking about how much he loves being inside the Thunderdome. And Daniel Bryan went on to say that he loved his time at home. He ended up saying hello to Brie and Birdie, which, of course, like I said, they were in the Thunderdome crowd. Daniel Bryan ended up saying that he could not wait to come back and experience this. And he said he's excited for some fresh faces on the roster, like Bianca Belair, like the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. He ended up saying people he's excited to fight, like Kevin Owens, Aleister Black, Apollo Crews. He ended up saying that he can't wait to get in the ring with these men. So then out came Seth Rollins. Out came the Friday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. So we saw Rollins end up making his way out, got in the ring. Rollins ended up saying that it's so good to see Daniel Bryan, and that he's thrilled Brie Bella let Daniel Bryan off daddy duty for a night to come into the Thunderdome. And Rollins ended up believing that Baby Bryan may have gotten to Daniel Bryan because he named a lot of people, and that he forgot the most important draft pick, the man who will lead SmackDown into the future, and that is himself, Seth Rollins. So Rollins ended up saying that he has an important question to ask Daniel Bryan. And his question was, which side of history do you want to be on? He ended up saying, because when it comes to the greater good, which we still don't know what the greater good is, he goes, either you're with Rollins or against him. So Rollins was sure that Daniel Bryan was smart enough to want to stand next to him and mold the future of the industry to his vision. So basically, Seth Rollins was wanting. Daniel Bryan to join him and become his disciple. So Daniel Bryan was saying he's all for changing the future for the better. He ended up saying, but to be quite honest, Rollins' vision seems a little short-sighted, a little self-indulgent and self-centered, and just kind of a little bit dumb. So Rollins ended up saying that Daniel Bryan doesn't mean that, but he does. So Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan argue a little bit. Seth Rollins ends up dropping Daniel Bryan with a right hand. Rollins ended up stomping away on Daniel Bryan. Rollins ended up yelling at Daniel Bryan about how he's dumb. So Daniel Bryan ended up getting back up. Bryan ended up ducking Rollins, took down Rollins. Daniel Bryan ended up delivering yes kicks to Seth Rollins. He also went for a roundhouse kick, but Rollins ended up retreating out to the floor, and he went back up the ramp. So then Rey Mysterio and Dominic end up coming out. And Rollins then ended up getting back into the ring because Dominic and Rey were staring him down. So Rollins was trying to get Daniel Bryan to join him. Daniel Bryan made his way out of the ring. So Daniel Bryan just left Seth Rollins alone in the ring with Rey and Dominic. So then Buddy Murphy ended up coming out. Murphy ended up rushing down to the ring, ended up staring everyone down. Rollins then ended up patting Murphy on the back, thinking that Murphy was back with him. But Buddy Murphy ended up taking Seth Rollins down. Buddy Murphy then ended up unloading on Seth Rollins. Murphy then ended up dropping Rollins and sent him retreating up the ramp. And so it was just Rey and Dominic and Buddy Murphy in the ring. They were staring each other down. Buddy Murphy offered his hand to Rey Mysterio for Mysterio to shake his hand. Dominic then left the ring, and Rey was staring Buddy Murphy down. Rey then also left the ring while Buddy Murphy still had his hand out. And basically that was that. So I guess, the whole Buddy Murphy, putting his hand out for Rey to shake his hand was the apology, an apology for what, he put the Mysterios through. And, it was smart. It's smart for Rey and Dominic to walk out of the ring. Have, Rey shake Buddy Murphy's hand as an apology and think, oh yeah, everything is goody-goody. You forget that Buddy Murphy was the one who put Rey Mysterio's eye, in the ring steps, and made Mysterio blind in one eye. So Rey and Dominic aren't going to forget that. So, overall, it was good to see Daniel Bryan back. And it looks like, maybe, to set it up for a Rollins and Daniel Bryan type feud. And then the Mysterios are going to be involved with it somehow. Who knows? And then we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus the Street Profits. This match was won by disqualification by the Street Profits. The Street Profits won by disqualification because we saw Dolph Ziggler and Roode beaten down on the Profits. And Ric Flair was shown watching in the Thunderdome crowd, which we saw. But the Street Profits win by disqualification. They retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Post-match, you had Roode and Ziggler toss Montez Ford out to the floor. They end up going for Angelo Dawkins. Dawkins end up fighting them off. And you saw Robert Roode and Dolph got the upper hand. They end up doing a spine buster zigzag combo onto Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford went to the top, ended up delivering a crossbody and took down both Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And pretty much that was basically that. So, moving on. We had Sasha Banks come out for her Hell in a Cell contract signing with Bayley. And SmackDown went to commercial as soon as Sasha made her entrance. And we also got a plug for SmackDown for next week. SmackDown is going to be on FS1 next week. So there was that plug. So then we saw Sasha and, of course, Adam Pearce in the ring. The guy who gets more TV time on WWE television. The guy who's probably a yes man to Vince, who probably begs Vince for more TV time. So Pearce ended up talking about the match against Sasha and Bayley at Hell in a Cell. And Sasha ends up signing the contract first. Sasha ended up saying that she's been waiting for this moment for a very long time. And so, Bayley was also in the ring there. So, Bayley ended up saying that she's been waiting for this moment also. And that she wants to be done with Sasha. And she could continue her title reign, her historic title reign. I think it's maybe 370 days as a champion. So Bayley ended up saying that Sasha has been waiting to turn on her this entire time. But she beat her to the punch. Sasha ended up standing up and ended up saying that if she wanted to turn on Bayley, she would have done it years ago. Bayley ended up saying that friends don't turn on each other. Sasha ended up recalling how she was the first person to call Bayley when she got left behind when they were still in NXT. She ended up going on about how she was there for Bayley at different times. Sasha ended up saying that she will end Bayley at Hell in a Cell because her name is Sasha and her name is bigger than the SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha ended up saying that it will just be the icing on the cake when she leaves Hell in a Cell with the SmackDown Women's Championship. So Sasha ends up shoving the contract over to Bayley. Bayley ends up standing up with a chair. Bayley then got out of the ring with the chair, and Bayley didn't even sign the contract. Bayley ended up saying that she's not signing anything. So Sasha ended up telling Bayley to leave, like the coward she is. And Sasha ended up saying to Bayley that there will be nowhere to run in Hell in a Cell. So Sasha ended up saying that one way or the other, Bayley will be signing the contract. And basically that was that. So basically Sasha signed the contract, Bayley didn't. But we're still going to get the match either way. And so then we went to the main event. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. Universal Championship was on the line. So we saw Jey Uso watching from backstage. And SmackDown went to commercial. And then when SmackDown came back, we went to the match. And we saw Mark Henry. Mark Henry was watching from the Thunderdome crowd. So the match started. Strowman ended up getting sent out to the floor by Roman Reigns after, a lockup. Strowman comes to the ring apron to get back into the ring, but Roman ended up knocking him back out to the floor with a Superman punch. Reigns ended up nailing a drop kick on the ring apron onto Braun Strowman. Went for the cover. Strowman ended up kicking out at 1. Reigns ended up working on Strowman in the corner. Strowman ended up fighting back. We had Roman end up delivering a right to Strowman. And Roman ended up covering Strowman. Strowman kicked out again. So we also saw Goldberg. Goldberg was watching from the Thunderdome crowd. So he appeared. So we had Roman end up leaping for a Superman punch. Strowman ended up catching Roman in midair by his throat. Strowman ended up declaring that he's not finished with Roman. Strowman delivered a chokeslam, which he went for the cover. Roman ended up kicking out at 2. So Strowman ended up going down. It looked like Roman low-blowed him. But Roman ended up winning the match by a submission. And that was that. Roman ended up winning the match, retaining the Universal Championship. Post-match, we had Jey Uso come out. We had Reigns looking at Strowman. Strowman ended up getting up, and Reigns then delivered a spear. It was like a second spear to Braun Strowman, send the message to Jey Uso. So Reigns ended up telling Jey to come down to the ring. So Jey ended up slowly walking down to the ring. He was staring at Roman. Paul Heyman ended up handing a chair to Roman. So Roman was taunting Jey Uso as Jey Uso made his way to ringside. Reigns then ended up pointing at Strowman, and he ends up telling Jey Uso that this is how they eat and take care of generations of family. He ends up saying that if he's not at the top, then they can't take care of family. So Reigns ended up telling Jey Uso that Strowman is going to be him at Hell in a Cell. And to imagine if he can do this to Jey. Imagine what he could do to Jey at Hell in a Cell. Because he was like, imagine if I could do this to Strowman. Imagine what I could do to you at Hell in a Cell. So Reigns then ended up delivering chair shots to Strowman while Strowman was still down. So we had officials come down. They rushed into the ring to get Reigns to stop hitting the chair shots to Strowman. Reigns then picks up the chair and unloads on Strowman even more with chair shots. Jey Uso got on the apron. Reigns was taunting Jey Uso, continuing to taunt him, and told him to bring it. Jey Uso then ended up coming into the ring. Reigns ended up dropping the chair. And Reigns just wanted Jey Uso to understand that Jey is embarrassing them. Reigns went on about how Jey Uso is trying to take his place and that it makes no sense. So Roman ended up saying that he still loves Jey Uso. Reigns ended up telling Jey Uso to swing the chair at him and prove himself to Roman. Roman ended up kicking the chair over to Jey Uso and tells Jey Uso to hit him with the chair. Reigns ended up turning his back, and he's waiting for Jey to smack him with the chair. Jey Uso picked up the chair and threw it back down. Reigns ended up laughing at Jey. So Jey ended up hitting Roman, drops him with a right hand. Jey Uso ends up yelling about how they love each other. So Jey Uso ends up picking the chair back up. He hits Roman with it. He hits Roman with the chair while Roman was down. So Paul Heyman was on the outside. He was yelling for the officials to get back into the ring. So the officials then end up hitting the ring to get in between Jey Uso and Roman. Roman ended up taking advantage of that, and he ended up dropping Jey Uso with a Superman punch. And Roman ended up saying that this is Jey Uso's last chance. So Roman then made his way out of the ring. The officials were attending to Jey Uso. And pretty much that was basically that. That was how SmackDown ended. But this was a good ending to SmackDown here. I'm loving this rivalry between Roman and Jey, cousin versus cousin. But overall, it was a decent SmackDown tonight, in my opinion. And next week, it's going to be on FS1. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And until the next video, I'll see you all later.